When you hear of Magic cards spiking up over 1,000% in just a few days, we know the world of Magic the Gathering singles is likely never going to be the same. Hearing that a Magic card can increase by over 1,000% overnight is something that is likely going to get a lot of attention. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. A reminder, everyone, before we start today's video, if you enjoy the Moxman's content, if you want to see more of my face every day coming at you, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, as I put out new content every single day. And I appreciate everyone who's helping me get closer to that grand goal of 50,000 subscribers. So what are we talking about? How can a card jump up 1,000%? It's pretty easy, actually, when you really look at the numbers. Cards can get missed by the masses upon release. When a new set drops, certain cards get all the attention and other cards get overlooked. And it looks like this case, it really did happen that way. So let's take a look. Although, by the way, before I show you the card and stuff, it's Ancient Cornucopia. I'm sure most of you guys knew that, who are my regular viewers. But the idea that cards get missed, and it does happen all the time, there are content creators out there who will catch a lot of these things and put that information out there. It just doesn't get enough views and enough attention until something like this happens. So the first card I'm going to share with you today is Ancient Cornucopia. Now, it's from the Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the big score. This thing is a 1 green, 2 generic artifact, and of course it is a mythic, and it says whenever you cast this spell, or cast a spell, that's more than 1 colors, you gain 1 life for each of that spell's colors. Do this only once per turn, and it self-taps for any 1 color you need. So that's a pretty good artifact to have around. It gains you life if you're playing on a 5-color deck. It actually can gain you an insane amount of life. If you're playing with things like Joda the Unifier, if you're playing 5-color Niv Mizzet, you can gain a lot of life off a lot of these spells. Playing 3 or 4, I tried a few games in Arena to see how this played out, and it really did quite well for the first couple of games. Then Arena hated me and made me lose 16 games in a row, but that's another story about how they rigged the system. Now, when we're talking about a card like Ancient Cornucopia, there's more than one version. I'll show you the second one here. It's a lot cheaper, but it's still, of course, a lot higher than you would expect it to be. It's insane to think of some of the values we're talking about. But this is ultimately part of the change that we are seeing in MTG finance as an overall macroeconomic issue. The lower box openings are triggering higher card prices. Even when they do spike, they usually don't jump up like this. They don't jump 1,000% in a day, which is what you basically saw there on the screen. If you missed that, take a look again at the screen. Look, it says May 6th, $4. Then you go up to May 7th, $75. And now, of course, it's coming back down. But imagine having that card and you sold it for $4 on the pre-release weekend thinking, oh, this card's not going to go anywhere. It has happened. People do it all the time. The Moxman has learned, because in case you noticed in the backdrop, I opened this card. I opened 1 pack, only 1 pack, of the collector edition when I was at Up North Games, and I got this card. I saw it was $4 when I checked MTG stocks. I said, oh, cool, I got one of the... And it wasn't worth anything. I didn't think anything of it. I shoved it into one of my sleeves, and of course, I brought it home. And when I saw what happened on MTG stocks showing this spike, it blew my mind. But it's indicative of what's actually happening in the singles market. It isn't just in one case. Check out this card too. Let me show you something here. Okay, so here we have Undercity Sewers, and this is the Borderless Edition, Murders at Karlov Manor. Look at the average price, $17.91. The market is $18.07. A foil is $42, and it's €15 to get this card. It's in the monthly change, it's gone up by $2. The daily change, it's lost a little bit. But overall, if you look back in late January, when this was a $5 card, I remember mentioning to players that they should buy this card. I said, you know, this card is going to have some value. The ability that they've tagged on, it's not a scry. Scry lets you look and put it on the bottom, but Surveil lets you look and put it in your graveyard, which of course can trigger all kinds of game effects that you want to have happen that are related to that graveyard. And Wizards of the Coast knew that was going to be a popular mechanic. And I think it took players a while to realize how great these cards are. Now, the Murders at Karlov Manor is still relatively cheap. I've seen it on sale multiple ways, so I can expect people who really desire these cards to start looking at some of the collector boxes and actually cracking new boxes just to get at those lands eventually if they need them for the decks they're trying to get into. But it lets you know how weak the sealed market is and how strong the singles market is. The sealed market may not be doing anything due to its pricing, but that doesn't mean that cards aren't being sought after in that singles market, and the desirability of singles is growing steadily. Players still need the cards for deck construction. Standard is starting to take off in a lot bigger way than people realize right now. A lot of small towns don't have a lot of movement, but bigger cities have multiple nights where you get to play Standard. It is starting to come back, and people are starting to build these decks, and that means they've got to buy the cards. And then we still have upcoming things to deal with. Upcoming issues. Take a look at this. We've already talked about Urza's Cave for Modern Horizons 3. It's now an average price of $10. The market says $5.40. Good luck finding it. A foil at $20, €2.94. That's a great price. So when we looked at this card back on May 1st and 2nd, this card was a $2 card. $2 US. Then it went to 3. Whole bunch of pre-orders went out. Then it went to 4. Then 5. And then a lot of stores I know said they were sold out. They don't have any more. Several stores have orders of 50 or higher copies from a single individual. So somebody's willing to spend $500 to get their 50 copies. Or $1,000 US to get 100 copies. And those stores know that they can't fill those orders because they're not opening enough of that product. And we actually don't know how common that uncommon is going to be. It lends itself to a whole issue of how the singles market is continuing to evolve, and the strength of singles still is not driving enough value into it to warrant opening boxes. The supply-demand issue is heavily skewed right now in favor of sellers. Those sellers who have these cards are going to make the money, because a lot of people aren't hanging on to their cornucopias. They're not hanging on to these cards when they first get them. Players have kind of put it aside if they happen to get one, or they sell it that night because they don't really care about it on a pre-release. They don't want to wait and see how these things turn out. They want to move into the next cards that they really wanted to get, but they wanted to crack a couple of packs to have some fun doing so, which makes perfect sense. That's what I did. I just felt the need to open a pack of collectors at that time. So going forward, if you're one of the players out there looking for some of these Magic cards, or realizing that we are in a different market, which I hope you're starting to get the gist of it, you still have Bloomburrow coming up. Modern Horizons 3 hasn't shot out all of its cards yet. We've seen a few choice, juicy ones right now, but we've got some time. And over the next several weeks before it drops on us and releases, we're going to see a lot more of the spoilers coming up, and you're going to see a lot more market fluctuation. And I don't think it's going to be in buying sealed boxes. I think it's going to be in the singles market. It's really starting to dominate what's happening out there. And I don't know if that's really a good thing overall, because it just encourages Wizards of the Coast to keep their prices where they are, as well as add new kind of Master Series products with high reprint equity due to the scarcity and supply-demand issues of some of these cards. They're artificially inflated due to the lack of box openings. It's going to be kind of weird to see it all play out, but we knew it was going this way. We talked about it months and months ago, and it's continued along the same trajectory it's been on since we announced that that was what was going to happen. Now, going forward, we still have Bloomburrow as well. We have Duskmourn coming out. Pay attention to the mana bases in case anything new is offered. Look how things are going to interact. I will do videos on it, of course, when it comes up, but I'll be honest, if I see some amazing deal, if I see some crazy thing that I don't think other people see, I'm just going to go ahead and hit it up right away. And then I can just buy extra copies, and not to keep for myself. I don't really do that anymore, but at least to give out to my patrons and YouTube membership members who may require some of these cards, but buy them at the card price I bought them at, and not the jacked up price that happens afterwards. That really bothers me sometimes. I know it's supply and demand. I know it's the way the economy works, but if I can get in there and get ahead of it, I'm willing to do so, because I think that's just, it's a better feel for players here on the channel who really want to get some of these cards. And they're supporters of the channel. We got to help them out. So either way, guys, I hope you found this video informative, because the mana base of things is really changing. Some of these cards go up 1,000%, is likely to continue and likely to happen more often, and it's something you all needed to be aware of. Make me more knowledgeable. Drop some comments in the comments section. Share your thoughts and wisdom with the Moxman and everyone else here on the channel. I hope you had a good time here. I hope you had fun and stuck around till the end. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, wait. This is Friday. Saturday, the top 10. You're not going to want to miss my top 10 hottest selling cards. And don't forget, Sunday is the reserved list edition of the hottest selling cards. It's going to be epic. Epic. All right, guys. Dual lands are back on the top 10. That's all I can say. I'll see you guys soon. Have an awesome day. And of course, a big shout out, that thank you to everyone, because you, if you're on this list, you're a supporter of this channel. You've stepped up to the plate, you've hit a home run, and you've joined Team Moxman. So thanks again, guys. Because of these people on the channel, we get daily uploaded content. You're making the Moxman work for it, and I'm having fun doing it. So thanks again, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Have an awesome day, everyone. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. This is the part where I say I told you so. I still got coffee. Wait, you couldn't see it. There's coffee there still. Okay. Let's understand what is really happening is not likely to change. The card prices are going to keep kind of shifting upwards. They're going to hold a lot longer than they used to hold, and players are going to have to get used to that, which means the inflated card value due to the low box openings because of the prices they put them at, this little weird reverse cycle we're in, it's going to continue. So if you need cards and you see them at release, I would buy them now. I used to not do that. I would wait to see how things played out post 90. But I just don't see it right now. The way some of these cards have hung on, the way the prices have just kind of gone straight and even slowly inclined, like we're seeing with Undercity Sewers, I'm glad that I bought my play sets. I got mine at around $7 a play set. $7 a card. But I bought all mine. I had some trade-in value. I picked everything up, and I was good to go. So I'm glad I got mine out of the way because I am playing Standard, and I do need some of these cards. So I was happy to get mine. And for all those guys who listened, like when I did the Triomes back in the day, and you guys from Ikoria, you know who you were when I said buy those Triomes for $3. And I'm glad you did. I'm glad you guys did. I hope the New Capenna people listened, because that was some good money made there too. And yes, I made some money off New Capenna. I'm sorry, I got some of those Triomes really cheap as well. I took advantage. I used it as trade-in though, but still, it was good to know that, you could still do it. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here at the end. Shop smart, shop S smart, and don't forget, swallow your soul.